Okay, hi again. Research part 2. So what we're going to talk about now is how to use the library in order to find scholarly articles, which is probably the majority of what you guys are going to be doing, okay, for this research paper. I want to point out that there are some hiccups that you're going to have to deal with because you're not on campus. If you were on campus and signed on to Loyola's internet provider, just like because you're in your dorm and that's the internet that you're using, you would automatically have access to all of the contents in the library database without having to sign in. But because we're all off campus, you have to make sure and sign into the library before you do your search, or it's going to cause like a real pain when it comes to downloading your, what are they called? Articles. Okay, so the purpose of this this video is to just take you on a step-by-step of what you do if you're looking for articles in the library. Okay, so I'm explaining it in this video. It's also going to be in Dr. Elmwood's presentation. It's a lot of information, and you might have to look at it more than once to really understand it. And then in our Zoom call on Thursday, we'll go over it again in detail to make sure that everybody feels comfortable doing this. And I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one if you want to Zoom and do some screen sharing to troubleshoot finding articles, okay? So if we are going to look at our topics and the types of things that we might want to research, before you even use this search engine, what you really want to do is look in a database. What is a database? Essentially, these databases are just the collection of all of the journals that exist out in the world, out in academia, right? And so if you can imagine, if we just look at the A databases, right? AAS historical periodicals, all right? These are just all of the journals, all of the journals, all right, that have articles published in them that are related to history. These are all of the journals that are related to African and African American studies, right? These are all of the journals that are related to law, okay? These are all of the journals that are related to art and design research, all right? So, you know, you're looking at hundreds and thousands of journals out there that have a bunch of articles in them that might be useful for you to use in your research project. And the best database to search is this one right here, Academic Search Complete. Okay, so when you are on the library website, what we recommend that you do is that you click on these databases and go straight to Academic Search Complete, which you can access over here on the right-hand side or right here. And what that means is that it's looking through these 17,000 journals that have articles published from 1865 all the way to the present day. And it also says that most of them have that full text, so you should be able to find the full article that's available, all right? So you want to limit your search to Academic Search Complete. If you're doing something that's very specific, I might tell you, oh, go look in this database, right? But for most of you, it's Academic Search Complete. So I wanted to go back because when I clicked on Academic Search Complete, that's when I was prompted to log in, okay? So even if you have logged in on your sso.loyola.edu or you're in Blackboard or whatever it is, if you do not log in on the library website, then you're not going to have access to the articles that you need. And you might have to log in multiple times, okay? Your login is just your username and then your single sign-on password, okay? So mine's already saved, and then you just press enter, and now you're logged in, all right? When you get to the search engine, this is what you'll see. So this is the database, Academic Search Complete, okay? So you're searching Academic Search Complete, it says right there. And you can either do a basic search or an advanced search. For the most part, the only reason you'll want to do an advanced search is if you want to put in more than one keyword, okay? So like before I searched social media kids or something like that, you know, you might want to do social media and child development, okay? if you wanted to do advanced search. You can pick where you want it to be, or you can just leave it open and it'll find everything. You don't really need to use this stuff down here, okay? You can limit your results to full text, peer-reviewed journals, etc., but I don't recommend you do, because you can just get all your results and then limit it on the other side after you've done the search. So we'll do that. So let's go back and we're going to put in a search term that someone in one of my classes has brought up. So Latin American actors. And search. It's taking a little bit because of the just probably how many there are, okay? And you can see that I have I only have 42 results that have come up. So what that tells me is that probably my search terms aren't that great if I only have 42 results. Okay. So why don't we go back and I can change the search term that I'm using, because 42 results is not a lot at all. Maybe we'll do advanced search, and instead of Latin American, we can say Hispanic. And then maybe we can say Hollywood, and then we can say actors. And let's see how many more come up. 43. Interesting. Let's just look at Hispanic and actors. Okay, so now we have more, 1,300. So, you know, like I said, it's pretty normal, depending on what you're researching, to come up with like 5,000, 10,000 results. So if you're only coming up with 1,300, it might be that you have to play with the search terms a little bit, and that's what I did. Okay, so we searched Hispanic actors, and then over here, like I said, you can limit it on the back end. So you might want to limit it to full text, so that you're getting the ones where you can actually access the full text of them. And that got rid of about 300 entries. You can see the publication date from the 1970s to now. Some of you might want to limit it to more recent publications. Let's just go ahead and do that and see what happens to our total number. That gets rid of another 250, right? So we're down to 750. And then you can see some, at least in one of the earlier ones, some of them were in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, you can absolutely use an article that's in Spanish. You can even try and translate it if you need to. But yeah, so some of these might be good. And then the other thing is that you can see that not all of them are from academic journals. So a lot of them are from academic journals, but then over here you have a periodical, right? Which might not be the best thing that you want. The periodical might be like a newspaper is a periodical. And so really what you're looking for are academic journals. And so the way that you can get the academic journals is to come back over here on the left and limit it again to academic journals. And that brings us down to 416 results. Okay. And this is where you start. You can really look at the titles and try and decide, you know, like, maybe you don't know what your research question is, and so you just want to look at the titles to see what kind of information is out there, which you can absolutely do, right? You can see this one, like when you actually read it, it doesn't have anything to do with Hollywood, which is what I thought we were, you know, looking for. This has to do with comedians in particular. Okay, this has to do with Spanish actors, and so we said Hispanic, but I think that the student in question was talking about Latin America. So yeah, you can look through and see that if we're thinking about Latin Americans in film, that actually, when we're looking at all of our results, it doesn't look like a lot of the results are related to that. And so I think our problem is with our keywords, right? So if your problem is with your keywords, how do you go about fixing it? What you can do is find an article that actually is kind of close. Don't we have actors for that? Staging Latinx plays, right? So this is about Latinx actors. And you can see the kinds, by clicking on it, you can see the kinds of keywords or subject terms that people have selected. Hispanic American theater is probably the closest, right, to what we want. You might also want to change the search term to Latino instead of Hispanic, and maybe that'll help us. Okay? All right. So we have found some articles, and then the question is, what do we do with these articles once we found them, right? So once you found an article that you're interested in using, let's say we want to use prototype use and perceptions of prejudice and interactions between whites and Latinos, you can click on it and read the abstract, which is here, which is a little bit of information about the article. Okay. This actually isn't about the film industry, which is what I think my student wants, but we'll just take this as an example so I can explain to you how to get the PDF of the article. Okay. So let's say you read the abstract and you do think this is one that you'd like. You can come over here to the left-hand side of the screen, and you see it says PDF full text. If you click on that, that should give you access to the full text of the article. And here it is. Okay. At this point, you cannot just save the web page. You need to download the article. If you don't download the article, you're not going to be able to find it again. All right. To download, you just come over here and click download, and then you can save it in your whatever folder you want. Okay. You can see that the subject, the title of the document is just going to be a vague title, so you want to save it. Let's see. If this is the title of the article, I would save it as this. Okay, just copy and paste, and then save it. Yes, that was a picture of my buddy. And now you have the PDF, and all the information that you need is saved on the desktop or in your computer. If you don't need it, if you end up not using it, that's okay, but at least you have it, right? Elliot and I made bread this morning, just FYI. So yeah, that's where you go ahead and save it. You can also, so I just clicked back to go back onto the page in Academic Search Complete. You can also email the citation information to you, okay? So if you click email, right, it's going to go from this website address. I'll send it to myself, and it'll just email it to you. Okay. And I'm going to show you what that email looks like. Let me pull up my Gmail. Sorry. Bear with me. Sorry, I have to change accounts. That's my cookie email. Here it is. Okay. So this is well, I haven't gotten the email yet. I'm sorry. But when I get it, I guess I'll share it with you. Okay. But basically what's happened is I've gotten a citation emailed to me. And that's the thing that you'll use to find the article in the future. All right. So that's basically the nuts and bolts of how you use the library website to find articles. This is moderately confusing, and I know that. And so what we'll do on Thursday in the Zoom is we'll take everybody's topics, or those of you that want to volunteer, and then together we'll search to find the articles that you might want to use. Okay, and we'll go over how to use the search engine again on the Loyola Library website. All right, so that's what we'll do in our Zoom meeting. For now, just keep on thinking about the topic that you're interested in, and I'll send out the Zoom information for Thursday, and I look forward to seeing everybody, and I miss you guys, and I hope you're hanging in there. Bye.